Rwanda, Justice and Peace. Regarding the meeting that launched the Platform of Rwandans Common Good in Washington, D.C. on May 20, 2023, Professor Charles Kabanda told the public that they met with several countries to expose the problem currently facing the Rwandese people. The platform attests that many countries approve the use of diplomatic pressure to force Rwanda to open its political space. In those countries, the leaders of the platform, Ambassador Eugene Gasana and Professor Charles Kabanda, said that they met with heads of state of several countries, including the President Felix Tshisekedi of DRC. Photo of Gasana Eugene sitting with President Tshisekedi and the Uganda President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, who may probably be the cover sponsor of the platform. As a matter of fact, this platform will make one wonder about the following concern. Regarding the political pressure, which the platform promised the Congolese government and the Rwandans people that it will use. What will be the role of the Rwandans people who are opposed to the RPF regime, the Rwandans opposition? When we see the way the ruling party, RPF, chose to hunt down the Rwandans people using the so-called justice system aimed at getting rid of all Rwandans who disagree with it, especially those it labeled as genocidaire, criminal, genocide denier, those harboring the genocide ideology. Albeit in Rwanda and abroad, such as in Congo-Kinshasa, Congo-Brazzaville, South Africa, Malawi, Mozambique, Gabon, Benin, Mali, Senegal, Niger, France, Belgium, Netherlands, UK, US, Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Canada, and many other places. Among the 15 people who attend the initial meeting of the platform in Washington, D.C., none went through the DRC forest as refugees. However, one may assume that they all know that the history of the Rwandans people in the Great Lakes region of Africa is not good due to the ongoing killing by the ruling party's RPF. Most of the people in the region have already learned that there is a sinister plan coined by Museveni and Kagame aimed by annihilate the masses, subjugating them and holding on to power. This is evident by the many years they have been on power and how they kill the people they don't want, without trial or mercy. If one looks at the available testimonies and at most of the writing about Rwanda, he or she could say that Museveni and Kagame are behind the killings that occur in Rwanda and the DRC. It has become clear that Rwanda and Uganda are behind the destabilization of the DRC. What measure can a platform that plans to use diplomatic pressure take to stop the NRA, RPA forces of Museveni and Kagame, who kill and exterminate the people they don't want, since there are some Rwandans who support such a sinister plan. How can someone without armed forces resist such a deadly army? What Professor Charles Kabanda said, that he informed all associations and political parties about his plan, is a plain lie. There were people who asked him about his phone number to not fail. Is there any truth, transparency, or hope in that platform he represents? It has become clear that Uganda and Rwanda are hiding behind M23 rebels who call themselves Congolese, even though the DRC attests that M23 rebels are Rwandans with some Congolese puppets. How could a platform that is probably sponsored by Museveni and some people that are closely linked to the RPF regime use diplomatic pressure to foster peace in the DRC when Rwanda and Uganda are supporting M23? What is the power or contribution of such a platform in solving the M23 problems? If the platform really wants peace for all the people of Rwanda, reaching out and asking for help from the neighboring country is a good option. But the most important thing is first reach out the concerned people, especially the Rwandans refugees, the falsely accused, the prisoner in the various diversity, according to the regions and ethnicity they come from. When people look at the platform's photo that was widely shared on the social media, they wonder what criteria were used to ensure that representation from all regions of Rwanda, ethnicity, political party were met, so that all Rwandans who are craving for the common good may fully embrace the platform. The platform told the Rwandan people that he who does not want what the platform is doing will be against peace and will face related consequences. Wouldn't this be constructed as a strength of freedom of thought and democracy? Threatening and silencing the people with opposing opinions? The platform explained its plan in a press conference in these words: "We inform everyone, including all known political parties. Those who want to attend our next meeting in Africa should write to us, and a screening will be done so that the countries we work with can know that the person has a clear record." What record are they talking about here? Who has such a clean record, and who doesn't? All the 15 initiators of the platform clearly understand that there are many people who have been put on blacklists by some member of the RPF simply because they are Hutus, and to silence them. How does the platform explain that these chained people, if they are prevented from expressing their opinion, it will not amount to discrimination against them for a second time, simply because they are educated Hutus? How does the platform plan to speak out for the people who have been wronged that way, so that they may also give back to their community by fostering peace for all Rwandans? Regarding the two superposed names of genocide in Rwanda, The first genocide is called the genocide against Rwandans. It was approved by the UN Resolution 1955. It started on January 1st, 1994, and ended on the 31st December 1994. This genocide, which lasted for 100 days, was later changed by the RPF regime with consent of UN, calling it the genocide against the Tutsi, starting on 1st October 1990 and ending on the 31st December 1990. 1550 days. This second name genocide is what made the Rwandan people of the Hutu descent feel that they were wronged, especially because of the massacre of the Hutu started with the RPF invasion of Rwanda on the first day of October 1990. With such a conflict, due to the RPF's willingness to put the blame of genocide on the Hutu alone. How does the platform explain to its partner country, such as Uganda, that the way this genocide is seen and used by the RPF regime is not an obstacle to the common good it seeks for all Rwandans? What can be done and how, so that all Rwandans may be assured that the genocide will not longer be an obstacle to the common good of the platform is seeking for all of them? Notes: according to the Articles 14 of the Rwanda's Constitution of 208, the genocide that was extended over a longer period of 5 years is the basis of setting up of the Gakaka courts and multiplies change to the Rwandan's constitution. This platform says achieving peace through peaceful means is the best way, and this is what our partner countries want. Which countries? While the Rwandan people continue to be trampled by the RPF regime, the DRC, which is under attack by M23, needs help from all peace-loving Rwandans to defeat the enemy. Peace does not come without a fight. To liberate the Eastern DRC from Uganda, Rwanda, and M23 rebel is getting difficult. It will require military actions because the diplomatic pressure is lacking. If the initiators of the platform failed Rwanda because of the RPF's wrongdoing, what would safely bring them back to Rwanda without the pressure of war? Why does the RPF regime continue to hunt down the people who oppose it and attack the DRC without facing international sanctions? Since the platform met with the US officials, did it ask them why the US is still reluctant to impose sanctions on entities that are involved to the destabilization of the Great Lakes region of Africa? Through war, the NRA and RPA managed to get where they are today, ignoring armed group and believing that diplomatic pressure is the only way to bring about peace in the regions, or believing that peace will come without a fight against all DRC invaders. Wouldn't be a big mistake or misleading? Everyone who lives in the Great Lake region of Africa knows for sure that the Rwandese army is controlled by one ethnic group, and that is do not serve all Rwandese. Instead, it serves one person, Paul Kagame. For these reasons, is the platform willing to see, in terms of percentage, how diplomatic pressure alone will bring about peace to the DRC and democracy in Rwanda without a fight against such murderous forces? Regarding the FDLR armed group, the government of the DRC confirmed that up to date, it cooperates with Rwanda to eliminate and expel from its territory all FDRL fighters. It is important to recall that the FDLR was born through several groups that were formed after the defeat of the FAR in a war against the NRA RPA. It is understood that such a war never ended, as it is well known that the Rwandan army, RPA, RDF, is controlled by one ethnic group. It is also well known that the FDLA is the armed group that protects the Rwandan refugees in the DRC. For several times, Rwanda sent its RPA, RDF soldiers to the DRC. 1996, 2008, 2012, 2013, 2018, 2022. Allegedly to go after FDLR fighters. For these reasons, here is the question: what is the percentage of success do the platform attribute to the diplomatic pressure, which may convince RPA, RDF to stop hunting down the Rwandese people who survived its war in Rwanda and in the DRC, and stop brutally hunting down Rwandan refugees and FDLR fighters? Should Rwanda RPF refuse to negotiate with all Rwandans who seek peace and common good of all Rwandans because it feels that it is supported in its actions? How will Rwandans from inside and abroad react? As the days go by, the DRC and the Great Lakes region of Africa are falling into danger because those powerful countries that are using Rwanda and Uganda as proxy to get a hold on the precious minerals and natural resources of the RDC for free have not ceased giving weapons to Uganda and Rwanda and M23. Given the fact that Uganda and Rwanda have not been sanctioned in the context of applying pressure on them, what should we expect in the end? The platform says that the country in the region do not want another war in Rwanda. Of course, war is bad and nobody wants it. However, it is obvious that there are countries in the region that are supporting the M23's war in the DRC. How will the platform convince the Congolese and the Rwandans people that diplomatic pressure will succeed? What is the estimate success rate? Given the fact that the war is approaching Kinshasa, telling the President Tshisekedi and the Congolese people that there will be diplomatic pressures on Rwanda without a war, will not it be fooling them? It may even end up being worse because as the day go by, the international community is putting pressure on the president of DRC regarding the violation of democratic principle and human rights, while this same international community is not willing to put pressure on Rwanda and Uganda. How will the platform explain to the DRC government that Rwanda and Uganda will stop attacking the DRC and stop supporting M23 due to the diplomatic pressure, even though the DRC requests it since the beginning of the M23 invasion, but until now, M23's activity and the activity of the country that are behind the plan aimed at capturing the DRC are ongoing and through war. If the diplomatic pressure failed to prevent the RPF regime from sowing chaos among the Rwandans refugees throughout Africa and around the world, what will such a diplomatic pressure do when Rwanda and Uganda of Kagame and Museveni are threatening the DRC of Tshisekedi? Without mentioning that the Rwandans people who were killed on their way back home from negotiation in Tanzania in recent years. There has been several people who were killed while coming from meeting in Uganda. Still others were arrested and sent to Kigali. What is the level of security that the platform intends to give to the people who are planning to attend its upcoming meeting in Africa? What are the planned strategies should the RPF and Kagame's agents come out using their usual technique and disturb the security of the people who will attend the meeting? What direction would the platform take to solve the problem of prisoner of conscience and political prisoner? And how can these prisoners be included in such meeting? Does the platform know whether the UN and the international committee are willing to solve the problem of the justice system, which has hindered the reconciliation of the Rwandans people, since there are Rwandans officials who committed crime against humanity but have not been prosecuted? What does the platform think about the problem of inequality in Rwanda and the problem about the Hutus and the Batwa? Who were killed because of their ethnic origin and have never been buried in dignity since the RPF invasion of Rwanda on the 1st October 1990 until now? Since the leader of the Plateform, or Rwandans Common Good, were able to meet with the head of several states, including Uganda and the DRC, it will be better to first assure Rwandans and the Congolese people on the following issues: ending the war in the eastern DRC, standing together to completely nip in the bud Museveni and Kagame's plan to annihilate the population in the region and destabilize the DRC, using proxy rebel groups such as M23, Red Tabara, to completely abolish the war, to completely abolish the way NRA, RPA managed to hijack the justice system, a tool they use to harass and hunt down the people who oppose them in Rwanda and abroad, by accusing them of crimes they never committed. The platform should show the Rwandans people the scope of what they plan to achieve and how they intend to achieve it, who may help them and at what cost, to establish an entity responsible of strengthening truth and reconciliation of Rwandans and the people living in the Great Lakes region of Africa. For peace to be achieved in the Great Lakes region of Africa, any person who wants the common good for all Rwandans should agree to build such a common good and proper strategies, such as asking the DRC government to help the Rwandans people negotiate for a lasting peace, a highly inclusive inter-Rwandans dialogue, Arusha 2, to be followed by the creation of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. May peace be with you all. Pro Justicia Rwanda, Jean Damascene Rukomboka, President. 20 June 2023.